Wednesday, November 13th. I'm Rim.
I'm Scott.
And this is Geek Nights. Tonight, Scott finally airs all his grievances against Achievement.
Let's do this.
Well, yesterday we talked about the chairs that we've been waiting for, and they weren't here when we got home. So we're sitting in the living room talking about how much we want our chairs to come, and, I guess nominally doing other things.
I wasn't really talking about it. It's mostly you.
Oh, you're not excited? If you don't want your chair, I'll take it.
Well, no, it's, I'm not really... From ordering so many things online, I know a lot of people that, I've had the feeling in the past, where you buy something online or you know that someone mailed you something and you're just anticipating it showing up. You're like, oh man, I can't wait for it to show up. I'm going to get home, there's going to be a package, or oh man, something's going to show up. And sometimes for certain packages, I still get it. Like my Mario Galaxy should be coming this week or early next week from Amazon, and I'm kind of anticipating that. But I no longer get really excited when a package is coming because I get so many packages because I buy everything online that I can buy online.
See, it wasn't that. It was more because this wasn't just a package. From what we were told, we'd have to be here. We'd have to arrange it ahead of time. They'd email me, and then FedEx is going to come, and Scott will stay home and sign for it or something. And they hadn't called us yet. So I'm wondering, all right, are they going to call? Are they not shipping them yet? When are they going to get here? What's going on? And we're talking to them. And then a couple hours later, you're in the living room playing Lego Star Wars, about to come up and do the show, and I just kind of notice out the big, gigantic sliding glass door in our living room that goes to the back porch, two gigantic packages that had been sitting there obviously all day that neither one of us had noticed until just then.
Well, I don't know. They might have been there all day. They might not have been it. Who knows?
They were there.
I don't know. They could have showed up, and you didn't see them before. They could have showed up literally like a minute before you noticed.
FedEx doesn't deliver that late.
I don't know.
No, they don't.
Who knows when?
I know when. They were obviously there when we all got home, and none of us look out there because now it's cold out. We don't go on the back porch anymore.
Likely, but not necessarily true.
Okay, there's no way. Scott, FedEx won't deliver anything after 5.
No, I've had packages show up at 7.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Anyway, the point is that they were there, and we brought them in the house, and we started opening them up, and you have these gigantic boxes, almost as big as, well, maybe half as big as refrigerator boxes, maybe a quarter of the size. Still really big enough you could get inside of them. And I opened mine up, and I'm like, hey, because the guy at the store told me, you take the wheels, and you put the piston on the wheels, and you put the chair on the piston. And I didn't see any piston piece. I mean, there was a thing in the middle of the wheels that stuck up and might have been a piston, but it looked really small, and it didn't look like it would telescope enough to be the piston.
So I says to Scott, are you sure that isn't it? And he says, look at it. This can't be it. It won't work.
It didn't look like it was it to me. I was pretty sure it wasn't it. And, I'm looking around. There was no other pieces.
Now, we probably wouldn't have been as confused, except yesterday, I got a phone call, and the people were just like, there's a note on your invoice that says piston. Do you know what that's all about? And I said, I think one of the chairs comes with a piston. I don't know. Why are you calling me? I ordered the thing.
Yeah, this is obviously the guy who sold us these chairs. Obviously knew what was going on. He knew the score.
And he went on vacation apparently the next day.
Well, apparently whoever talked to Rim had no clue what was going on. And this is a problem. People should not be doing work that they do not know how to do. So apparently these people had no clue what they were doing. And so they didn't know what that note meant or anything. And they were calling us to find out. Call the dude that's on vacation. He knows. We don't know. So the fact that they called and mentioned something about the piston, and then I got the chair and it didn't look like there was the piston, I was like, huh.
It kind of puts that seed of doubt in your mind. Way back in the day, I got a text message out of the blue, and I don't get text messages ever. I hadn't even used it. It was on my old cell phone even. So my phone makes a weird noise, and I look, and there's a text message. I can't see who it was from, and it just says, don't eat. And I'm sitting there, and I had just bought a donut, and the donut was sitting in front of me, and for a second I thought, is this donut poisoned? What?
That's what I would think.
How would they even know? Is this the Matrix? What's going on? That seed of doubt was planted by an unrelated event.
Yep. So we had to seat it out, but I went online into the website of the chair, and there was a manual, and looking at the manual, and mostly the service and repair manual, which is great that they put online, and they damn well better for the price.
Well, I mean, think about it. It's not like you can pirate the chair.
That's true. But, you
Yeah.
know, they don't let you get service and repair manuals for cars unless you pay a lot of money.
Well, that's because it's a racket.
It is a racket. However, in the service and repair manual, I saw no such part as the parts and service manual, I think. And in all the parts section, I didn't see any parts that looked like a piston. So I went and I put the chair on, and it telescoped crazily. It goes so high, my feet are off the ground. And I'm like, oh, I guess it's fine.
So, I am now podcasting to you semi-live from my brand new solid black metal throne with a pellicle seat.
It's not all metal. It is significant parts plastic.
Well, a few parts are, but the bottom part's metal, the middle part's metal, all the bits are metal, and the rest is pellicle.
Yeah.
Or plastic.
Yep. It is pellicle is just plastic meshy stuff.
Yeah, but it's special.
Kinda.
My butt can breathe.
You're wearing pants, so your butt can really only breathe if you took the pants off and then sat in the chair.
That'll come later.
Yeah. Anyway, let's talk about games of some sort.
So, instead of a news, I figure I should do a Geek Bite.
That's because you don't have any news.
Well, no, I had a few news. They're not worth talking about. And more importantly, it's a game that we're never going to review fully because there's no reason to. I think we can cover it all right now.
All right.
Scott picked up the other day Lego Star Wars for the Wii. It includes
Well,
episodes...
it's Lego Star Wars Complete Saga for the Wii, because there was previously Lego Star Wars and then Lego Star Wars again, and it was episodes 1, 2, 3, and then 4, 5, 6. Or was it 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3? I don't know. But this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 all in one disc for the Wii.
It's everything, and
everything.
it works.
And it works, yes.
And Lego Star Wars is not really a game. I mean, it's a game in the same sense that Gauntlet is a game.
Yeah, I mean...
But there's no puzzles. You're not going to have to figure anything out.
The puzzles basically amount to... use the Force on every single thing you see. You know, it's basically you walk around a level and there are widgets to push. You know, like it's like switches on all the walls. And all you have to do, if you push every switch on every wall that you can possibly push and activate everything you can possibly activate, which occasionally requires activating things in a certain order, or it occasionally requires, pushing a block onto some switches or something. But nothing. It's E10. 10-year-olds can play this game. All right.
You know what it's like? This game is like those rides at carnivals where it's like the pirate ride where you go in and you got a little gun and you can shoot at all these targets. And every time you hit a target, something happens. Like the pirate jumps out and goes, wuzza, wuzza, wuzza.
That's exactly what this game is.
Or the skeleton falls over in a bunch of pieces and then reforms.
Yeah, you hit the nail on the head. It's like all those shooting galleries where you have a gun and it's sort of like a laser gun and you shoot at these targets, and when you hit a target, it activates some animatronic thing for a second that does something funny. And it's that, but it's Star Wars. And
now, don't be turned off by that, because while this is a game for kids, and while there's not much gameplay, I like those rides. And as a result, I like this game.
This game is okay. I mean, you might get bored if you actually try to unlock all this, because basically the game is like collecting gold, but there's so much gold everywhere, but you have to collect so much of it. It's just crazy.
So just don't even bother.
Yeah, if you ignore that stuff and just try to burn through the game and do all the funny things that you can do, watch all the funny cutscenes and make all the funny situations you can by mixing Star Wars characters together in interesting ways, and unlock some of the things are worth unlocking. Like I unlocked this Lego town. So you go around the perfectly normal, happy Lego town, but I'm Darth Maul and I'm destroying it. That was good times.
Scott did that for a while.
Yeah, now I'm done with that. It expected me to do it until I got 1,000,000 gold, because every time you destroy stuff, like 1,000,000 gold falls out.
He got over 500,000.
I got over 500,000 gold,
up.
and then I gave up because I was like, fuck this.
I mean, that's really it. I think the greatest joy in this game is whenever I'm a Jedi and Scott's not a Jedi, I can randomly just force choke him and then kill him.
No, you
and there's
can't.
nothing he can do about it.
You can't do that.
Yeah, I can.
You haven't done that at all yet. We don't even have any force choke able.
Well, by force
Jedi
choke, I mean the normal force power. Because the normal force power makes you stand there like an idiot for enough time for me to walk over and kill you.
Yeah, it happens. It's sort of like, if you like River City Ransom and you like Star Wars, you'll like this game.
Also, I'll admit that the cutscenes are actually really funny.
They are quite humorous.
There's this level of, like, they took every character in Star Wars, but they kind of caricatured them a little bit. So Leia's really kind of rabble-rousing and bitchy, and Luke is just a jerk, and Obi-Wan is totally incompetent in episode 1.
We got to beat a few more levels to get the Han Solo. I think one more level and we should have.
I got to see
him
if
and the Wookiee.
Greedo shoots first.
I'm waiting for the Wookiee action.
The game's just kind of enjoyable.
Yeah.
That's about the best I can say about it.
I think the only other thing to say about the game is occasionally there are vehicle missions, and the vehicle missions are actually the most fun because they sort of have, some of them are terrible, but like the pod race was actually a really fun kind of race. I mean, it wasn't actually a race, but it was like a fun sort of F-Zero kind of experience, and not bad.
Plus, it's one of those games where, much like River City Ransom, if you're just killing time, hanging out with some people, you can pretty much play this game and engage in whatever social interaction you planned on without losing anything.
Yeah, but overall, though, it is the game itself. Once you've seen all the funniness there is to see, is pretty much a mindless waste of time, a la World of Warcraft. So there's only limited amounts you're gonna get out of this game.
You know what? I would
if it wasn't. Let me say this: because Star Wars, the fact that it is Star Wars. And the fact that it is Lego is all the game has. If the game was not Star Wars, it would be not worth it.
And if it wasn't Lego.
Right. But I think Lego is, they're coming out with like Lego Batman and Lego Indiana Jones. And I assume those will be similar in a way, but I think I'm just going to opt to watch the cutscenes from them online rather than buying them.
I think I would almost put this, at least for us, in a category of games I would call coffee table games. It's the kind of game, if you got a bunch of friends over, you pop it in, and two, you play it, and everyone else kind of talks and kind of watches.
Yep. It's not a game you play for serious.
Nah.
I mean, it has a multiplayer mode, but I mean, if I pick R2-D2 and Rim picks the Emperor, I really can't win, even though I should be able to, but you can't, R2-D2 can't do anything.
It doesn't help that there's really only one attack.
Yeah. Lightsaber. Oh, there's lightsaber and blaster. And if one guy has lightsaber and one guy has blaster, guess who wins?
Not blaster.
You sure?
Let's try.
Even if it's Boba Fett?
Boba Fett's got nothing.
Oh, I never bet the Fett man.
Remember, Boba Fett was never in straight up single combat just with a Jedi. He always ran away or something.
Or he fell into the Sarlacc.
Well, yeah. Don't bring that up. I missed that. I
hope they unlock. I hope I can unlock the Sarlacc.
What, as a character?
Yes.
B bites and A bites?
Well, B opens up the hole and A closes the hole.
Why would you ever close the hole? Just keep it open.
Well, no, in case someone's trying to fly out with their jetpacks. Because, his backpack has jets. Right. All right. For my news, I'm going to talk about this new channel in the Wii. It's called the Check Me Out channel. And
it's the best game on the Wii right now.
Well, I don't know about that.
Well, because I haven't played Mario Galaxy yet.
Guitar Hero 3, maybe something. Even though Guitar Hero 3 is problematic.
Guitar Hero 3 has already lost a lot of its pizzazz for me.
No, I think I kind of want to
It's still fun, but the novelty is gone, and now my choice is either put effort into becoming very good at it or never play it again except in social situations. So you're shit-talking
because you did say you were going to become very good at it. And
I'm already pretty good.
Yeah, I can play it hard now, which is something. Anyway, Check Me Out channel. This is a channel that is sort of like... I feel almost as if, why is this a separate channel? The things that this channel does should be part of the regular Me channel.
You know why it's a separate channel? Because they brought it out later.
Yeah.
And it was probably easier to do that than it was to integrate
Basically, what this does is it basically does things the Me channel should have done in the past. And the way it works is sometimes they have a contest. Like the current contest is Mario lost his hat. So you make a Me that I guess is of the theme Mario lost his hat, and you submit it to the contest. And then I guess in a few days after submissions close, we'll vote on, everyone will get to vote on which ones they think are the best. And then I guess whichever one wins. And you get points, I guess, for winning or something. And then they're going to have more contests. The other part of the channel is just sort of like a top Me's thing where you make Me's and you sort of submit them and you give them initials, right? So like we submitted our Teddy Roosevelt and we said TR. I said, and you say, what is he good at? And we say he's a male and he's good at speeches, So now people go through and they look at Me's, and if they see our Teddy Roosevelt Me and they think it's cool, they say, Yes, that is a cool me. And you can go through and you can see like the top 50 me's around the world. You can see random me's. You can just any me that anyone submitted to the Check Me Out channel is, it's sort of like a me fashion show in a way of everybody, not just people who are in your friends, whatever.
Now, I'm generally very impressed with the quality of some of these me's.
Yeah, a lot of them just people followed instructions on the internet on how to make certain me's, but
those are obvious because you see 10 of the same thing.
Yeah, but some of them are pretty good, like the Doraemon, very good.
I don't know. I liked the RoboCop, not so much because he looked like RoboCop, which he did, but because the initials were RC, RoboCop.
Yeah, those should not. I give people special points, actually. I will vote for things specifically because of people choosing the correct initials.
Or at least clever ones.
Yes. For example, someone made Cyclops from the X-Men, and it was okay, but they gave him the initials SS, which means they knew that it was Scott Summers, which means they get my vote.
The one thing I can say, I saw a lot of complaints on the internet about
RoboCop's name is Alex J. Murphy, so
I knew Murphy, I didn't know his first name.
Yeah, if they would have put AM, I would have voted for that.
So would have Dave Riley.
Probably.
But I think my favorite thing about this is that, you go to the popular ones, you look through the ones that people have voted up, and people on the internet were complaining that it's just a bunch of random me's. It's like a random me generator, and it's stupid. But I realized, because I looked at it, and it was all, for the most part, famous people. And I think a lot of kids don't know who these people are.
It's possible. But then how did they get voted so highly?
Because there's also people like us.
Yeah.
I mean, I think my favorite one is still Jack Black.
Yeah, all the top me's are, famous people or famous characters. Like there's a Naruto in there, the Star Wars guys are in there, all that sort of stuff. And I think the reason they only let you put initials is to avoid getting sued.
Yeah.
Like if you wrote, say, Jack Black, then it'd be like, hey, or whatever. But if you just put JB, yeah, it's just a me with the initials JB. We're Nintendo. What can we do about it?
Plus, it makes it a lot, because I don't think I can express to you how many Hitlers there are in there already. And they're growing fast.
Our most popular me that we have submitted is our Muhammad. I'm kind of disappointed, though, because I like the Teddy Roosevelt more.
I like our Teddy Roosevelt
I also like our
a lot.
Bill Clinton. Our Bill Clinton's getting no play.
We didn't actually make our Teddy Roosevelt.
That's fine.
Someone else did.
That's fine.
Yes.
What do I care? It's on my Wii. It's mine.
Our Bill Clinton is perfect, but our Muhammad is my favorite one, and I hope a lot of people see it. I want it to get voted up because I think it looks pretty close.
Close to someone no one knows what they look like.
Yeah, but you know what? When you see it, you know what you're going to think? You're going to think, wow, yeah, they got him.
Yep.
That's him.
That's Muhammad. All right. So, yeah, if you have a Wii and you like the me's at all, you should probably check out the Check Me Out channel. Otherwise,
Things of the day. So, Scott, Team Fortress 2, it came out, right?
Yep.
And it looks kind of cartoony, right?
Duke Nukem Forever is still not out.
I don't know. That's going to come out someday.
Yeah. Anyway.
I mean, at this point, the fact that it hasn't come out in so long is probably the best marketing they could have ever gotten.
I saw a rumor that went farther than any other rumor I've seen before that was like pre-orders soon ?
I saw that in something that I realized was a spam.
Yeah, anyway,
a lot of you are probably aware that Team Fortress 2 took a long time to come out. And there's a lot of reason for that. I think we talked about it a little bit when we did a show on the history of Team Fortress, but suffice to say, Team Fortress 2 is really the sequel to Team Fortress Classic, which is really the sequel to Team Fortress, aka Mega Team Fortress, even though that was actually a mod up, but I digress. Team Fortress 2, as it was originally conceived, was nothing like the Team Fortress 2 that you got recently.
Well, it was conceived in the late 90s. They couldn't even think the kind of thing that Team Fortress 2 is now is something that no one could even conceive in their mind in that year.
Neither was the original idea.
It would be as hard to conceive of the TF2 that we have now in 1999 or 2000 as it would be to conceive of computers in the year 1800.
See, the thing is, Team Fortress 2, the people making it, realized that Team Fortress and all of its brethren were pretty much some of the best games ever. And they got a lot of smart people together and said, we are going to make Team Fortress 2. It is going to be the end all, the be all, the perfect team first-person shooter. It is going to have everything. It is going to be the highest technology, most realistic, best game ever. And I've got here a video. It looks like it's in German, I think. It looks like it's some sort of press conference at a con, and obviously it's just a cam, but this is a bunch of footage of the original Team Fortress 2 as it was slated to eventually come out in the year maybe 1999, 2000.
Yeah.
Now, you might think, wait a minute, this looks a lot like all those World War II whatever games people play today. I point out that none of those games existed when they were making this. The scene where it shows the guy fighting the tank and then they throw the grenade in the tank, that was a wet dream for us back then. The idea of having a game, an FPS that complex and that awesome, was too much to bear.
And that's why the game didn't get finished back then.
Yeah, because it was pretty much impossible.
It was ahead of its time, so far ahead of its time that they needed more time to get.
And by the time the technology got to the point where they could do that, that was no longer what they wanted to do because that was what everyone else was doing.
Yep.
And as a result, we got the great game we have today, even though I'm already sick of it.
Me too.
Oh, well. So much for that. I waited 10 years. It comes out. I play it a week.
Yeah. Okay. You know Kid Icarus, right?
One of the best games ever. And by best, I qualify that by also saying hardest.
Yeah. Well, it's sort of an infamous game.
I've never legitimately beaten it.
It's one of those I've barely beaten level 2. It's one of those few like infamous Nintendo games where Nintendo was a game way back in the day that was crazy popular, but there was never a sequel and they never went anywhere with it, and everyone's like, "Oh man, bring it back." Like Earthbound, they're like, "Bring it back, Kid Icarus is the one that needs bringing back more than any other, and Nintendo recognizes. I think Pit is definitely going to be in the next Smash Brothers Brawl, whatever. So they know the Kid Icarus is beloved and missed. But here is something interesting I found. This is the original Japanese television commercial for Kid Icarus. Now, there's two things important to notice about this. One is a fucked up commercial. I mean, the guy turns to...
Japanese commercial. Weird, eh?
Yeah, I mean, the guy turns to stone, which is because of Medusa, but, like, this kid runs by at the end randomly, and, like, I wish I knew what they were saying. Maybe we should ask Emily to translate it, but it's a fucked up commercial, and it's pretty interesting. But two, at the end, they're like, "Oh, disc system." Because you should go... I'm not going to explain what it was and everything about it, but in Japan, they had the Famicom disc system, and there were games for it on discs that you could get, and it was nothing like anything we ever got, and it was pretty awesome, and you should learn about that because it's important Nintendo history that is not very well known in the U.S.
Now, regarding Kid Icarus, I'm curious how many of you out there actually really played that game. So
Is it on the Virtual Console yet?
Yeah, it is, but
Is it?
The codes don't work.
Really?
The old codes, the broken codes.
Uh-huh.
Kid Icarus was famous for having weird codes that gave you a lot of stuff. And the reason for that was that there was basically not much checksumming or check digits or anything in the password. So it was very easy to make a legitimate password. Hence, Icarus fights Medusa Angel, or packing, or my favorite, it 8 followed by an infinite stream of lowercase u's.
Uh-huh.
And none of those work in the Virtual Console version, apparently.
Uh-huh. Well, do any passwords work in the Virtual Console?
Yeah, normal, real passwords do, I assume.
Oh, I don't know. I gotta go look this up. Because, yeah. But anyway, it's a hard game. It has awesome music. You should probably play it.
Well, I wonder, one, how many of you realize that not only is it a top scroller, but there's also a bunch of, maze, two-dimensional, up, down, left, and right levels. And there's some side-scrolling Mario 1 kind of action in that game. And at the end of the game, it's a side-scrolling shmup.
Yep.
Also, I really want to ask, have any of you ever legitimately, and by legitimately I mean without cheating or using someone else's code, beaten that game?
Not many people have done that. It's
also
hard.
His name's Pit, not Icarus.
Oh, I know. I know his name is Pit. Did I say Icarus?
No, you didn't. I'm just saying that to all of you out there.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. So today we're gonna we've been talking recently about a certain topic in gaming, And me and Rim have differing opinions, though I think a lot
What's
of...
with us lately? Every time we introduce anything, we start real generic, like, something.
I think I like doing it that way.
Something.
You don't get, instead of getting to the point, you sort of, beat around the bush a little bit to drag people in so they wonder what you're talking about, and then you hit them with it.
See, it's a lot like how I was taught to write essays in middle school. You start with a global statement, and then you narrow it down to a thesis.
Yeah, it's like Scorpion. He's like, he throws his little rope and he says, "Get over here," and then he says, "Yeah, uppercut." And the uppercut was really all he wanted to do. I mean, if you were already next to him, he just uppercut you. But no, we got to do the get over here first.
See, but at the same time, when I got to 10th grade, Mr. Koval, the best literature teacher I ever had, and he taught me more grammar than anyone else in my life, he taught us that and had us write a paper. And then he failed all of us, and then he taught us again how stupid it is to start with a global statement like that. If you're saying something that's so incontroversial and so nothing, why even say it? Why not just start with something important or something interesting?
Uh-huh. Anyway, he knew about English, but not about, and literature, but not about radio, which is not literature.
See, the thing is, we're not radio in the some guy's gonna flip past Geek Nights in the middle, and we gotta try to get him to not flip to another thing.
No, but we are radio in the sense that people listening to this are probably staring at their computers at work, not really paying full attention, and by saying certain things, I can get their attention. Like, hey, you. Hey, yeah. You, sitting there.
Yeah, right there.
Looking at your computer screen, not actually listening to the words of the podcast, just using it as background noise. Pay attention to what I'm about to say. You suck.
So, Scott seems to have a bug up his butt about achievements. And I'm for the record, I have absolutely nothing against achievements at all, and I don't know why he hates them so much.
Well, I think the thing is, and you, I guess, are included, is that I am definitely not pro-achievement. However, I think people are misinterpreting and exaggerating and misunderstanding my exact, very specific position and opinion on achievements.
I could go to the forum and quote some things you posted there about
Yeah,
this.
but I was too lazy to actually post my entire full opinion in great detail.
Oh, so instead all those insults and all that's a stupid idea and you're a stupid person, that was
Well,
all?
those are true, too, but, I didn't sum up the whole thing together. I sort of doled it out in little bits, never doling out the whole...
What we're talking about, all right, an Xbox, I'm sure you all know, but I know there's people who don't have Xboxes. And now, because this is in a lot of Steam games now, too.
Well, then it's in the orange box, specifically. And
Yeah,
not any other Steam games.
I foresee a future where there is more of that on the computer.
As people, make more games that are for the 360 and the PC, they're doing achievements in one, you leave them in the other. It's not like,
Especially since, by and large, people the world over love them.
Yeah, people seem to really like these things.
And all they are is you can set, when you make a game, whatever kinds of carrot danglies you want, whatever kind of conditions of getting achievements. And then whenever you meet those conditions in a game, you get a little badge. Kind of like how in TIE Fighter, if you get enough secondary missions, you get the extra little pin on the medal at the end of the mission.
Mm-hmm. So, for example, you'll be playing, I don't know... some zombie shooting game, and there'll be an achievement for killing 1,000 zombies. So you're playing the game normally, and suddenly you kill your 1,000th zombie. You didn't even realize you killed your 1,000th zombie, but you did. And a thing pops up and says, "You killed 1,000th zombie," and it'll say 1,000 killer or something, and it'll add to your Xbox Live gamer score. Will go up by a certain number of points, and you'll get this little flag that says, you got X number out of X available possible achievements, and then if people look, they'll see that you got the zombie killer achievement, that you killed 1,000 zombies in whatever game. And that's what it is. And my specific thing with this is that, there's nothing wrong within a video game of setting goals, for people to achieve. For example, Metroid, right? It's like, hey, beat the game faster, and you'll see a different ending. Or hey, this is Tetris. We're gonna give you a bonus level. If you can beat this bonus level, you get bonus stuff. Or like in Portal, there's like the challenge levels where the turrets are in cages and it's harder. And it's like, okay, that's cool. But this stuff, right? These achievements, they're not actually making like bonus rounds that are extra stuff. They're just within the normal game, like putting these things around that just pop up.
Well, I think one purpose that achievements can do, which is it depends on the kind of game, but I'll use your 1,000 killer zombie example.
Yep.
Let's say the first achievement in the game is, kill your 1,000th zombie, and it says 1,000 killer. Wow, I got the 1,000 killer. And then you find out that the next achievement is 25,000 killer. Suddenly, you have this huge sense of scale that is just thrown in your face of, it's kind of like a measure of how much of the game I've experienced or how much zombie killing I can expect from the rest of this game.
That is true, but that brings me to my first problem with achievements is that they are the meta. Now, some games, meta is not a problem. But for example, in my Half-Life 2, I had to turn those freaking achievements off because Half-Life 2 and, its sequels are all about a cinematic, immersive experience. And I'm playing it, and then this thing pops up in the corner, and it totally throws me out of the game. Like, when you're watching a movie and you get thrown out of it, and suddenly you're like, oh, I'm in a movie theater, and you're totally not in it anymore? That was not good, and it sort of dulled the experience for me. So I had to turn those achievement thingies off.
See, at the same time, when I was playing Portal, and I did the sad deed, I did the bad thing, and then suddenly I get the achievement fratricide, I busted out laughing. That was the best thing ever. Having that achievement appear at that moment actually added to the game.
Yeah, I guess in a way you could use achievements for funniness. That is not, And
also, in Half-Life 2, I don't think I would be thrown off by an achievement so much as I am by the fact that I'm stuck in a room and someone's talking at me. Meanwhile, I'm jumping up and down on him.
Hey, I'm in the game when I'm doing that stuff. That's what it's all about.
Yes, that's what Gordon did.
It's just like natural selection when the gorges are making a pile on top of the cheese. All right. My other problem with achievements is, this is not some rule of the universe here. I guess you can't say it's the fault of the achievements, even though I can make a case for it, is that whether you say you do it or not, there are people, and I have seen these people, and these people say it outright, they admit it, is that there are people they're playing a video game, right? And they are playing the video game more to get achievements when they would not have, right?
So
here's the thing: they'll play a video game, right? And now they're sitting there, and they would, if there was no achievement, right? Pretend there's no achievements. This person has no desire to play this video game again, right? None whatsoever. They would not have fun doing it. But now someone puts this, meta carrot of these points there, which is just nothing, and suddenly they want to do it. And it's like,
all right. Now,
like if it wasn't fun for you to do it, now it's suddenly fun for you to do it because you're getting a number.
See, why on earth does this bother you?
It doesn't bother me. I don't, but it doesn't bother me really. The thing is that it's, wow, look at these people.
People can do whatever they want.
They can, but I lose respect for them. And when I see
silly, Scott. Now, too, here's the
someone who's going to do something that is not entertaining, in and of itself.
It is. You seem to be forgetting that part of what achievements do, especially the fun, the weird ones, like beat this with only taking 100 steps, or beat this game carrying this object the whole way through.
Right. It's okay to do that.
It's no different than a lot of, like, you go to GameFAQs for any game, and there's always, like, the challenges, and someone's like, hey, can you beat this game without doing this or this or this? Or can you beat this game with only one character? And what the achievements do is, instead of having to go to some stupid GameFAQ and find some kid who said, hey, do this, they give you a list of ideas, like, check it out. This is possible. We are telling you right now, out of the game, you've already beaten it, that this is possible. If that means you can try to attempt it, it'll give you the idea, I wonder if I have the skill to pull that off.
Yeah, and you know what? Back in the day, without achievements, people still did this all the time. Beating Zelda without the sword.
Not everyone. A lot of people, it never occurred to them. And I think one thing the achievements do...
They lose respect for those people. They're dumb. They're not paying attention to their games.
That's silly,
They're not
Scott.
creative in their gameplay.
So, even if you're creative, what if you just don't think of one thing? Or even worse, if you're the first one, or there's nothing to tell you it's possible... All right, you're going to spend a lot of time possibly trying to do things that the game will not let you do. This at least gives you this is possible. Now it's a puzzle. Figure it out.
That's true. However, there are people out there who, let's say you had the same game, right? And you put in a special mode, for example, that was like the 100-step mode, where once you took your 101st step, it said game over on the screen, and it put you back out. It had the 100-step mode.
Yeah.
Right? There's nothing wrong with that, but... There are people out there where if you had the game with the 100-step mode, they would do the 100-step mode and just become frustrated and wouldn't play it. But you put that achievement there, and suddenly these people are playing it like crazy, trying to win it and trying to get this thing just to get this useless points thing.
Well,
that doesn't mean anything.
One, why do you care? Because you really, really can't seem to let this go.
It's not. See, you keep saying I care.
Because you do.
It's the fact that these people are doing something which otherwise would not be fun.
Why do you care?
Because there's people doing something. It's the same reason I care if I see people.
Scott,
you know, why do you get pissed off at people doing stupid things that don't affect you all the time?
Because it does affect me.
No, there are plenty of things. You know, you see like someone being fat, even if they're totally not in your way, and you're like, wow, that person's hurting themselves. Wow, that person's doing something that's not fun for them. Wow, that person's doing something that's not good for them. And you just look at these people and you lose respect for them.
I don't think that playing a game for an achievement is hurting anybody.
It's something that there are people who are doing things which otherwise would not be fun for them, but suddenly, you know, because of the psychological trick
Scott, what
of a immaterial.
Where are you getting this information?
Just go on the internet and look. People are saying, "Oh man's, you know, look at all my mad achievements. What's my gamer score is so much higher than yours?" Or
Scott,
I'm getting this game on the 360 instead of the PS3 because it has achievements.
Well, that's a given because it's the same game with something extra. If it costs the same,
it's not something extra. It's nothing. That's the thing. It's a carrot, but this carrot is nothing. But it's like you get there, you run, you get the carrot, you eat it, and it's nothing. It's the hollow.
But it is something.
There's
Here's
a picture of a carrot.
It's the exact same game. Plus, if you want it, you've got the achievement system. Why not buy the one with the achievement system?
Because the achievement system is nothing. It's nothing. It's just little things that pop up. That's not anything.
Scott, Mario 3 is no different. It's just little things that pop up.
What things that pop? What are you talking about?
Goombas and stuff. It's no different.
That's not part. That's not what I'm saying.
What are you saying? All you're saying, Scott, is that you think that someone who is willing to pay the same amount and have an extra thing, even though you don't care about that thing, is somehow stupid.
Because that extra thing is nothing. It's like if you're
Scott, it's nothing to you.
If it's something to you, I lose respect for you. It's nothing.
That's just
It's the same as World of Warcraft. Gold in World of Warcraft is nothing. Levels in World of Warcraft are nothing. That's not an actual. It's not an actual reward. It's
Scott,
not.
So if you beat a game in a really hard way, like say you beat Zelda without a sword, would you ever tell anyone?
I might, but
You're saying that if you beat Zelda 1 without the sword.
But anyone should be able to do that. It's easy.
Scott, you're missing the point. Let's say you're a kid. You beat Zelda 1 without the sword. Are you just going to go, wow, I did it, and then just never say anything again? Or are you going to tell someone?
I might if someone asked.
You're just going to never tell anyone unless they ask you by chance, hey, Scott, have you ever beaten Zelda 1 without the sword?
Yeah, it's easy.
You're missing the point here.
Do you
Scott.
see me bragging about my video game skills a lot?
When we were doing the FPS shows, when we were talking about Team Fortress 2.
I think you are much more the braggart of your skills than I am.
Well, I'm a lot better than you, so I think that's justified.
No,
but still.
See, you proved my point exactly. And second of all, I am very honest with my statement of my skills. I don't claim to be any sort of god in any way. I'm just, and in fact, in a lot of games, I suck. I know a lot of our
like
listeners.
Quake 3.
A lot of our listeners like Guitar Hero gods, and I'm just like still, not passing every song on hard.
I was just saying, just in the FPS world, particularly the Twitch FPS world.
But anyway,
the point is, if someone else wants achievements or they like achievements, then obviously they should buy the one that has the achievements in it. What do you care?
Here's the thing, all right? When I play a game, the reason
That's you.
Yeah.
Who cares about you?
I'm not saying anyone has to care about me. I'm saying is that I get my enjoyment from games because I actually feel like I achieve something real, or I do achieve something real, or I increase my skill, or I actually get a real reward of some kind.
What reward
And
do
when
you
I
get?
see people getting enjoyment from nothings, then I don't respect that.
But what reward do you get from beating Mario 3 that's any different from getting level 70 in World of Warcraft? There's no difference.
There is a difference. And to beat Mario 3 actually requires skill. You actually build up a skill over time. To get level 70 of World of Warcraft only takes time.
It's not
so unless you're respecting somebody's ability to have precision timing and button pressing.
Your skill at Mario 3 is just as laughably useless.
See, but there's actually a skill there, and there's actually a feeling
But
of
why-
accomplishment. That
no,
it's
Scott,
actually an
that's feeling.
accomplishment.
It's not a real accomplishment.
It is a real accomplishment.
No, it's a feeling of accomplishment. It's no
No.
different than an achievement.
No, there is a real accomplishment. At the beginning, you were not physically able to do it, and then over time, you built up your ability to do it. And some people are unable to
All
build
right,
up
Scott.
the ability to do it.
So-
World of Warcraft requires no increase of ability; it requires only an increased
Fine,
expenditure
Scott.
of time.
Scott, fine. So, all right, what's the difference between beating Mario 3 or beating a whatever video game in 100 steps?
There's nothing wrong with beating the video game in 100 steps. The thing that's
So why not?
The thing that's wrong is that if you're doing it because you get this little flag to light up, it's like basically imagine you're playing Mario 3, right? Okay, you play Mario 3, you beat it, it's fun. Now, what if I told you, hey, if you can beat Mario 3 in an hour, I'll turn this light on. Now, suddenly, you decide you want to do it really bad. You want that light to turn on so bad
So?
that someone's caring about a light turning on.
Yeah,
That is what I disrespect.
Why? Why do you care? It's not.
Because that's innate. Do you care if some freaking light turns on? No, you get the enjoyment from the game itself. If you're getting the enjoyment from a light turning on, what kind of person are you? You enjoy something so meaningless.
Wow, Scott, way to take a little video game thing and try to get all self-righteous about it.
That's what I am. I am self-righteous about it. I can't.
I think you're righteously
can't get-
indignant at best.
Perhaps I get a point of a game. The point of games in general, all games, is to have some sort of challenge without the risk and to build your skills,
No,
at a
Scott,
challenging thing.
Scott, there are games that involve no skill. And there's still a game. There are games that are pure enjoyment. There are games that don't build anything except enjoyment and relaxation.
But those games have some redeemable aspects,
Like
some
what?
actual reward.
Like what?
Well, like Apples to Apples has a reward of humor.
Yeah.
You get a humorous social situation.
And you know what,
And in
Scott?
fact, you increase your social skills and
Yeah,
you
Scott?
bond with other people.
Scott?
And there's an actual reward.
Achievement gives you proof that you did something very
That's
difficult.
not an actual reward. That's a light bulb turning on. A light bulb turning on is not a reward.
So basically what you're saying is anything you say is a reward, anything you say isn't a reward isn't a reward, and
I'm not
therefore
saying what
you're
is.
right.
I'm saying
Yes, you are.
No, I'm
You're-
saying no.
you're
I'm saying
saying-
different things are rewarding to different people. However, if you think a light bulb turning on is rewarding, if that's rewarding for you, I disrespect you.
And I just find that stance utterly silly, and I think you take this achievement thing way too seriously.
I'm not taking it way too seriously.
You freak out about it every time we bring
I'm
it
just
up.
saying what it is, and the
If-
thing is,
if the-
people give this such huge backlash, and I'm like, dude, you're the
Scott,
one who cares about a light bulb turning on.
I think the backlash is because you're kind of a jerk about it all the time.
yeah, I am a jerk about it because if I disrespect someone, now I got to be a jerk to them. That's how it goes.
If you disrespect someone because they like one part of a kind of video game, then you don't happen to like that exact same part of a kind of video game, that's really silly.
I disrespect people who get like if people get enjoyment from shallow things, I disrespect them
Scott,
in general.
you just said you get enjoyment from Lego Star Wars, which is a stupid, shallow bullshit game.
But I get enjoyment from the humor aspect, and when that humor aspect runs out, I probably won't play it anymore.
But yet you walked around for 15 minutes destroying things in a Lego city, and it wasn't entertaining. It was almost
It wasn't.
nothing.
It was painful
Then why did you do it?
because the psychology of it was too demanding, and I couldn't. I
So you're
took
saying-
time to overcome that.
Wait, so you're saying that you had no conscious control over the fact that you ran
No.
around as Darth Maul destroying a tiny Lego city for
No.
15 minutes?
I had
That's
conscious
what you just
control
said.
over it. The
No, you
problem
didn't.
is I realized what was going on, and I couldn't help it for a bit, and I realized that's happening to people. The thing is, in about a minute,
Scott, you
I
said
overcame it.
You
and
said
other
you
people,
couldn't help it. That means you didn't have control until you did overcome it.
I knew what was going on.
You're saying that Lego Star Wars was able to control your body for a small amount of time, and you were unable, without effort, to overcome that mentally, and yet you're trying to disrespect someone who likes a light bulb?
Yes, because the difference is that I knew what was going on and I stopped it in about a minute. Whereas I see other people, they're doing it for years and years and years and years on end without stopping or realizing or admitting it.
Scott?
That the psychology of the video games is controlling them.
Scott, achievements haven't been around that long.
I'm not talking about achievements. Look at World of Warcraft. People are playing this thing. It's the same shit. Look at Muds back in the day. It was the same shit. I eventually realized it and stopped doing it. Yet there are people defending this sort of, invisible, real carrot stuff. There's nothing wrong with carrot and stick as long as it's a real stick and a real
But
carrot.
Scott, it's not a real carrot. Beating Mario 3 is a virtual carrot, and so is beating some
No, it's
achievement.
not. Beating Mario 3 is an actual carrot.
No, you don't get anything physical. You bring
Yes,
nothing
you do.
back.
You get the satisfaction that
Wait.
your ability has increased.
Okay.
in yourself, that you have bettered yourself in some way, even though it's a
Scott?
meaningless way. You have bettered yourself.
No, you haven't.
It's the same feeling as if you just run and jump over you're doing the high jump. You jump and you can jump higher, and then you make 6 feet, and you go, oh yeah, I can jump 6 feet. It's that self of achievement that I have increased my personal ability, even at something meaningless. I mean, the high jump isn't useful.
So, Scott, someone by beating all those achievements has increased their personal ability at whatever that game was.
But you can do that without those stupid achievements. And
But
the
why
other thing
not,
is that
Scott?
a lot of people wouldn't
Scott,
be doing it without the
You
achievements.
keep saying that. You don't know that.
That's what it's looking like to me. Go around the internet, look around, look what people are saying.
Scott, you back that up. You're the one making a positive claim.
I'm saying that's what I've seen on the internet. That's what these people are saying.
So, some guy on the internet is your
It's
argument.
not some guy on the internet. It's lots of people on the internet. Go to gaming blogs where there are articles about achievements and look at the comments.
So you read all those comments? I think that's a much bigger waste of time than getting some achievements in Portal.
I'm doing research for this show.
I'm sure.
Yeah,
I imagine you just sitting there being righteously indignant, fuming into your chair. These people. They're so stupid. Why can't they all be perfect gods among men like me?
And you aren't the same way?
I'm sitting in my Aeron chair. I have no cares in the world.
Yeah.
I just see nothing wrong with achievements. See, the thing is, your argument is one, achievements are stupid, and two, people who care about them are stupid.
Yep, that's my argument.
But the only argument you actually made, effectively at all, was possibly the second half. Achievements in and of themselves, there's nothing wrong with that. At all. Zero. You can't even make the argument there's anything wrong with it. All it is...
But they're just nothing. If people
No,
caring about achievements
all
are stupid,
they are-
they're adding them is adding nothing to the game. It's a waste of
all they are
space.
is a little system tacked on. Doesn't take anything. You don't have to buy into it. You don't have to do anything with it if you don't want to. You can turn it off. It's not going to come...
I'm pretty sure you can't turn it off on the Xbox. You can turn it off in the PC.
You don't even own an Xbox. What do you care? It's not going to come into your bedroom and rape you tonight like I'm going to.
No. The point is it does. I made the point that it does mess with games by putting you into the meta. It puts this meta thing over the games themselves.
All right, Scott, what if people like the meta? A lot of people play games meta. When I play Advance Wars, I play Advance Wars as a series of equations. It is nothing but math. It is nothing but the meta. When I play German board games, half the time when I win, it's not because of the game or what I'm doing in the game, because I'm watching what other people do. I'm playing the meta. Scott always, in T&E for the longest time, he'd always, when he'd fiddle with his tiles behind his screen. And whenever he had 3 or more, he'd always fiddle from the top. Whenever he had 2 or less, he'd always fiddle from the side. And he did it perfectly. And I was able to beat him a lot before I finally pointed it out. That's purely meta. Are you saying that's just as bad as achievements in the Xbox?
That has nothing to do with achievements in the Xbox.
So, but it's meta. I'm playing a game and a meta thing.
No, the reason that the meta is bad is because it has the potential to take you out of immersive experience.
What if
the way
someone
you get
doesn't
taken
care
out
about
of
the
a
immersive
movie.
experience? What if they only care about the skill of the game? I mean, the immersive experience in a game is oftentimes just an FMV or a scripted pseudo FMV.
If you care about the skill of a game, then you will get your enjoyment from the sense of accomplishment you get when you build your skill
All right, so
playing
let's
the
say-
game, and you don't need an imaginary illusion of a carrot to convince you to keep playing the game. If you are
So-
only playing a game because of an illusionary carrot, then why? And you're not actually having fun with the game itself, and you're only having fun in the pursuit of the illusionary carrot. What are you doing?
There's a lot of hard video games where a lot of people don't enjoy them, except the chat. It's so hard or so difficult. The only carrot they get is the fact that they stuck to it, even though it wasn't fun, and then they beat it. And that not fun translates into double fun.
Right. And there's no reason. You don't need these illusionary achievement carrots
Scott,
to have that.
I didn't say you need them, however.
And they don't help
Scott,
either.
however, let's say it's a person who, they are enjoying it, all right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, if they're going to enjoy it, and they're doing these things because they want the challenge, and for nothing more than because they enjoy the challenge, why not have an extra system, if they want it, that allows them to, 1, prove that they did it, and 2, give them direction on what to do, and 3, to prove to themselves that they did it right. In some games, it's hard to tell or keep track. It'd be easy to fudge it a little bit. It forces you to keep honest with yourself and actually achieve it legitimately. So when you do, you know without a doubt that, look, I did it. Even if you never show it to anyone, you've got proof. The game says you did exactly what you set out to do. If you don't have that, there's a chance that you might accidentally screw it up and you might not have done something as difficult as you thought you did.
It doesn't matter if you can prove you did what you did.
Not to anyone else.
All that matters is that you had fun doing it.
Yes, but at the same time, what if you have more fun by knowing that you did it right?
You have more fun because you proved that you did something?
No, because that you know that you did it right. What if there was a bug in Doom 2 and I was playing and I thought I beat the game? I'm playing to beat the game on the hardest difficulty level and I finally beat it and I had fun, but it turns out that I was playing on the easiest difficulty level and I was just stupid and said it wrong.
That was just you being stupid.
All right, so why not have a system that prevents that?
That achievements don't prevent that.
Yeah, they do. 'Cause
Achievements don't prevent you from choosing the wrong difficulty setting.
You can't get the achievement unless you actually accomplish the thing.
When you beat Doom on hard, it says you get a different ending than when you beat Doom on easy.
No, you don't.
It doesn't say you beat on hard.
You don't get shit.
Somehow, yeah. Then that's just something wrong with the game. The achievement system is not a system that solves that problem.
Why not? All the achievement system is hey, here you've already beaten the game. You already own it. Check out all these things you can do. We guarantee that they're possible. Good luck.
Yeah,
if you get them,
why not just have bonus modes? You don't need this achievement system.
Achievement.
You don't need this meta system outside of the game to handle it. Just have.
Why not? Why not? It's just instead of having every.
But why? What do you say? Why not? Why? Why have it? Why not just have bonus modes in games the way we've had them for years and years and years? Why do we need this meta system outside of the game to handle that in some sort of organized scoring way?
Well, apparently because a lot of people want that.
They
so why
do
not?
because it's an illusionary carrot and it works on most people, and I don't respect that.
So your argument is that the quote illusionary carrot of an achievement is somehow less real than the illusionary carrot of a princess that was kidnapped by a big turtle with spikes.
Yes.
That's ludicrous.
No, it's not.
I think it is.
Not
I
at
think you
all.
take this way too seriously.
I basically take the illusionary carrot thing way too seriously.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all. I don't take the achievement thing. It's just the achievement thing happens to
But
be
all
an
video
instance
games
of illusionary
are
carrot.
is
No,
illusionary
it's not.
carrot.
No, they're not.
Yeah, they are.
No, they aren't.
You haven't said. How so?
I already explained. How many times did I explain this?
Because I don't agree with what you said at all.
Look, if you're playing Tetris, right? Beating Tetris is actually you're accomplishing something. You're increasing. You have to have skill in order to do it.
Scott, to get some of those achievements, you have to have a lot of skill to do it.
Yes, but I don't need someone to tell me that. I don't need. If it was actually fun. If there was actually some building of skill, that building of skill is enough to motivate me to build my skill, and it's enough to provide me
Scott,
with all
it's
the
like,
enjoyment I need.
say you run a marathon. What if you run a marathon, or you run a marathon, and at the end there's a guy who says, wow, you ran a marathon, that's great. Now, it doesn't cost you anything to have that guy there. The guy's either there or not.
If you're going to run the marathon because
No, Scott,
the guy
that's
is going to say
that's a separate argument, because what I'm trying to say is your argument is a whole different thing. The achievements themselves are not a problem. They're just a tool, like any other tool in gaming. The achievements are just a guy at the end of the game saying great. And without that guy there, it's still the same game. There's just not a guy. How does having the guy there hurt you?
it doesn't hurt me. I'm not saying it hurts me.
How does it hurt anyone?
The reason
Anyone who plays for just, the enjoyment of playing, how does it hurt them?
if you're playing actually for the enjoyment of playing, then you don't need the guy, so why have him there?
Why
and
not? But
if
Scott,
you're playing for the guy, but if you're only playing for that guy, why are you playing?
But Scott, if the guy is arbitrary whether he's there or not, then it doesn't matter if he's there or not. So why not have him? Doesn't
Why
hurt.
have him? And it does hurt. I already explained how it can hurt by taking you out of the immersion of a game.
But Scott, if people don't care about that, not everyone has the same taste in games you do.
Yes, and I disrespect them. How many times do you have to go through this?
I just still can't get over the fact that you would disrespect someone because of their choice in video games.
If I see someone putting effort towards achieving something, I don't want to use the word achieving to make it confusing, but I have to.
But
towards
Scott,
achieving something that is not worthwhile.
Okay,
then I can't
wait.
respect
Okay. So someone with a PhD in nuclear physics sees you playing Mario 3 and thinks, why is that boy wasting his valuable time on this
I
earth
may not
accomplishing
be
nothing?
achieving as much as the PhD, that is obvious, but
You're not achieving any more than someone getting an Xbox achievement.
no, I am.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am.
No, you're not.
And
That's
my
silly.
enjoyment is not coming from an illusion. My enjoyment is coming from an actual building of skill within myself.
If you want to think that Mario 3 is somehow nobler than some Xbox achievement, you can keep thinking that.
It is.
Okay.
What the
Anyway,
difference is that if you're getting the enjoyment,
what do you care?
because it's all about where the enjoyment comes from.
Why
That's
do you
important.
care? If someone's into BDSM and that's how they get their rocks off, what do you care?
I don't care. The point is that if you get your enjoyment from the achievement
You
itself,
obviously care because you keep talking. You keep bringing this up.
you keep basically, I explained things already, and you're not getting my point.
Well, no, I get your point. I think your point's silly, and I disagree with it. And I
I'm
disagree
gonna-
with your evidence.
I'm going to conclude with this so you friggin' understand what I'm saying and stop confusing me and trying to put words in my mouth.
No,
all right?
I understand it. I just disagree with it.
If you're getting enjoyment from the actual sense of accomplishment of defeating a challenge, of overcoming obstacles, then you don't need some little light to turn on to get more enjoyment. If you are getting your enjoyment from the light turning on and you're not actually getting enjoyment from the things that you're doing to get the light to turn on, why the fuck are you doing them? The achievement system is unnecessary. You might say, oh, well, it doesn't hurt anything. Well, I just gave one example of where it could potentially hurt, and I have shown that it is absolutely not necessary. Therefore, why is it there?
Scott, I don't think that hurts at all.
We don't need it.
We don't need video games
We
at
do-
all. Video games, there's no reason.
You're going to start arguing about needs. It's just going to get silly.
Because you said if you're going to make the need argument, we don't need video games.
It doesn't help, and it has the potential to hurt. It shouldn't be
Scott,
there.
a lot of things don't help and have the potential to hurt.
And those things are bad.
I think video games are the same.
No.
A lot of people play video games, even if they just enjoy them. They don't play for any reward. They just sit there and play Tetris forever. And
But
you know
you're
what?
getting the source of enjoyment from playing Tetris comes from somewhere different. It comes from
where?
It comes from actual accomplishment. It comes from the sense of overcoming a challenge.
A fake challenge is the same virtual carrot.
It's an actual challenge. You take my mom cannot play Tetris as well as I can. I have overcome. I can do the high jump or the pole vault higher than my mom. I have
All right,
overcome
Scott.
a greater challenge.
Regardless,
I'm better in some way.
I'm gonna end the show because
All right.
it's time to go to bed.
Sure.
And yeah,
Just because you failed to understand.
no, I understand perfectly what you're saying. I understood every word that you said. I just disagree.
Well, that's fine.
This has been Geek Nights with Rim and Scott. Special thanks to DJ Pretzel for the opening music.
Be sure to visit our website at www.frontrowcrew.com, where you'll find show notes, links, our awesome forum, a link to our Frapper map, and links to all the RSS feeds.
We say feeds plural because Geek Nights airs 4 nights a week, covering 4 different brands of geekery. Mondays are science and technology. Tuesdays, we have video games, board games, and RPGs. Wednesdays are anime, manga, comic nights. And Thursdays are the catch-alls for various rants and tomfoolery.
You can send us feedback by email to geeknights@frontrowcrew.com, or you can send audio feedback via Odeo. Just click the link that says Send Me an Audio on the right side of our website.
If you like what you hear, you can catch the last 100 episodes in iTunes or in your favorite podcatcher. For the complete archives, visit the website, which has everything.
Geek Nights is distributed under a Creative Commons Attribution Non-Commercial Share-alike 2.5 license. This means you can do whatever you want with it as long as you give us credit, don't make money, and share it in kind. Geek Nights is recorded live with no studio and no audience. But unlike those other late shows, it's actually recorded at night.